Hello again, everyone. This is Caroline. Today's webcast is on Ascension again. Today is May 22nd, 2011. Before we begin, for those who are new, this has been kind of a series. We've been focusing on the subject of Ascension since the beginning of the year. Going deeper and deeper every week. So I highly recommend for those who are just joining for the first time to go back and listen to the first webcast of the year. They are available free of charge on the Omnium website. And also, by the way, for those who are not aware, who are still new to this work, all of this information is based on a lot of the information or the explanation that I have given in the book, The Divine Plan. For those who are new to this, go back to the Omnium website and look for the book, The Divine Plan Beyond 2012, where I explain all of this information, what the grid system is, how it works, why we are, where we are, and how we are getting back on track. And we are getting back on track in a very multidimensional way. This is not just about a planetary galactic alignment. It would be kind of simple, although quite of course, quite very powerful, but this is a multidimensional reality, multidimensional experience, even though we are taught and we are told that we are three-dimensional beings. But of course, this shift is happening on many different levels. So if you really want to understand more about this, go back and get the book. It's quite technical in the beginning, but just the vibration in the book is quite powerful, and you will be absorbing some of this vibration on a cellular level as you are reading. Also, before we begin, a couple of announcements for those interested in understanding how the healing that we are doing together, how it works. It is based on a method, of course, that I have created called the Omnium method. And it is the healing program that I will begin. It's a series, an online series that is live, meaning just like this webcast, I will be with you live explaining the different principles of this method. This is not just another method, please. If you have listened to some of the webcasts, read some of the information, you should at least feel that this is a different vibration, different energy. There are so many English words that I can use to explain certain principles, but this is definitely another type of work. It ends up being healing, of course, but the main differences is that this course, the Healers Program Series course, uses universal frequencies, not planetary, not galactic, meaning it's very, very specific. It goes very, very far into the higher frequencies that are available in the universe, not locally here, so to speak, close to the planet. And of course, this has a very specific purpose. It's very precise for those who do some healing. It is much more precise. You will have a lot of clarity as to what you're bringing in, how you're bringing it in, and why. So it's quite important, detailed work. And of course, also, I have combined several tools together, not just one tool. So this makes it very multidimensional. And these are just a couple of differences. Also, the method of teaching and learning is also based on the Omnium learning method, which is experiential. Experiential does not mean that you hear the information and you go practice it, because some people use this term experiential to mean that you will experience or you will practice. This is the way I am teaching this program, and of course all of my other classes, is experiential, meaning I bring the consciousness of the information and bring it in its pure form and allow you to absorb that consciousness directly. So you are reaching and aligning with the information that is being provided in an organic way, and it's through vibrational entrainment that you are learning. So I am simply using the English language in this particular case to give you some guidance how to direct your mind channels, how to direct your energy field, how to maximize the absorption of this information. But the way you are absorbing the information, it is not by repeating or by listening and processing through the cognitive mind, but by using your full physical brain capacity and experiencing the consciousness of the information. So it's very, very powerful work. It is not just about healing. You end up absorbing on a deep, deep cellular level very powerful frequencies that help you awaken and continue to expand. So highly recommend to consider this. And also the good news is that you receive the program and you have it in your account, and you can go back and listen to it. If you miss one class, it will be there. So very powerful work. I hope to see you there. And speaking of more goodies, this month we have added on the website, for those who are new, look for that, a new library. So it's not new, in fact, it's a new library listing, I should say. And in the menu on the left side of the website, you will see the library that combines pretty much everything on the site. We have so much information, so much material to share with you. So this way you can take a look at the whole thing in this very simple way. And again, for those who are just joining or listening to the sessions, if you have missed a session, we've just done one that's pretty amazing, very, very powerful on animals and plants. This is not just about you liking animals or feeling close to animals. It goes so much deeper, so much beyond what you are expecting. So if you've missed this session, I highly recommend you go look for it again in the library on any page of the website. In fact, just go in a search box and type in a keyword and you will find the session. Also, we did a cellular reprogramming for the eyes and the ears to raise the vibrational frequency in your physical brain to always for the purpose of helping you to ascend, clearing the lower vibration. So all of that good stuff is in the library. And by the way, we're doing a healing circle today. The healing circle, even though is done at the same time as the webcast, but you will find it under the guided meditations. Also, library, just go there. You'll see very, very powerful transformative tools. So please enjoy. And finally, this is getting a long introduction. Sorry about that, but I am allowing more people to join. For those who have just logged in, welcome. So finally, another great gift that we have for you today is the addition of the Omnia Music Library on the website. Look for that. Just go to the media center or the main library, and you will find the music library. Now, this is a new item that we've added, and it's absolutely free. So please enjoy, take advantage of these amazing gifts because they're just gifts. And the way this music is created is according to the same principles. The ability to tap very specifically, very precisely using the Omnia method to bring a very high frequency in its pure form to you without filtering through the composer, the maker, the creator of the music. This is a new way of bringing information, vibration through music. So I highly recommend that you go and enjoy very, very beautiful music, and of course allow the tones to raise your vibration organically. Very, very powerful stuff. And by the way, we would love to hear from you, because as we continue to add more things on the website, we want to hear your feedback. If you send those to me personally, I see your emails, but I cannot respond to all of them. I apologize, but I do read the emails when I get a chance, and I do hear you. I do send you back the energy and the support that you are needing. But more importantly, if you have any specific requests or feedback on this amazing new music, for example, we want to hear from you. You will see the emails on that page to send your comments back to us. So we look forward to hearing from you on this. Okay. I believe everyone who is meant to join is here now. So welcome again. So we're going to move right along with this introduction today, and then we will move into a very beautiful healing circle meditation. So we have been talking about ascension this year, because whether we like it or not, whether we feel it or not, whether we believe it or not, how can we not believe it? Look around with all the extraordinary, powerful manifestation of the new paradigm appearing in all areas. So the signs are everywhere. The planet is shifting to a new consciousness because of the presence of a new Earth grid system that is very much in place, being locked in as of this year. Yes, as of November of this year, this new consciousness that you can absorb, that you can begin to feel and sense and work with, begins to be locked into position, so to speak, as of this November. So of course, we have to prepare. We have been preparing, but this year is quite difficult in the sense of what this new grid entails. It entails that the old stuff can no longer be. That's what it means. And if that is the case, then a lot of stuff has to go. It has been going gradually here and there. We've been seeing things collapse, change, scandals, truths coming out from all over the globe in all areas and on all levels. But very shortly, it will simply be impossible for certain old paradigm things to persist, to exist. And so this does not mean that come December of this year, everything disappears. It just doesn't work this way, because everything is multidimensional. It's not one dimension. It's not, I hear a lot that we are transcending, or we are ascending from the third dimension to the fourth dimension and the fifth dimension. It doesn't make any sense. It's not one dimension. You don't just move up one dimension at a time, because you are multidimensional already, and you're not just three-dimensional. You are already existing in a 32-dimensional field, but you have access to an infinite dimensional field all at once. And so what happens as you are expanding, you don't just add one vibration, or you don't add one frequency, one dimensional field. You add a range, because you are multidimensional. And so what happens is that as you increase your level of awareness to the next range, the next dimensional field, a lot of the things that used to exist can no longer exist. And so, for example, one day you will see the consciousness of the financial continue to collapse and get worse and worse and worse. And even though people are telling you all sorts of stories, this is old paradigm. Please, this is old paradigm. All you have to do is tune into the consciousness of this monetary system that is based on greed. The new paradigm is based on truth. It's based on transparency. And so it is impossible for this old, worn out, selfish system to continue to exist. And so this does not mean that come December, every single bank is going to close, every single all parts or all aspects of this consciousness is going to cease to exist. It's not exactly like that. It has been collapsing bits and pieces at a time, and we're going to see bigger chunks, so to speak, collapsing after November, but this will continue. It doesn't mean it's only in November, it's only in December. It means that it's kind of like in November, the doorways will open all at once and all of this energy will be released. So it's bigger movements of collapse you should expect to see on all levels. And of course, how could you not be seeing and observing the governmental collapses? Okay, it's one thing to have a revolution in one country, but here it's almost surreal. We are seeing one country after another, after another, after another, all perfectly synchronized. And as I mentioned, also other countries. This is not just about democracy. It is about a global movement for truth. This is the year of liberation from the old paradigm. And so right now, it's starting with some of the countries that have dictatorships and things like that are supposedly moving into a more democratic or asking for democracy, because that's kind of what's available in terms of more liberated, more freedom, more free society, but really there's no such a thing as real democracy. Even the democratic countries have their version of dictatorship. It is more subtle, it is more concealed, it's quite hypocritical too in many ways. And so this is all, as long as there is a system that is still based on corruption, it is the old paradigm. And so I said this in the book, which of course I wrote in 2004, came out in 2006, but now we are seeing these things about the government going down one after the other. This domino effect is going to continue and will continue to spread like wildfire. It's going to be quite interesting. But of course, when it starts to reach the more, shall I say, advanced democratic countries, civilized countries, okay, when it starts to get to that level, then of course, those countries have a backup plan. So be prepared for more speaking of wars and threats of wars and all that stuff. And you know what? It is all part of the process. So don't even question that this is a global movement for reaching and asking for the new paradigm to begin to appear on the earth. So, but in the meantime, and of course the geophysical events as well. In the meantime, as I've been mentioning in the previous webcast, it's very, very difficult to keep your balance, to stay focused on what you are here to do. And in the last webcast, again, I shared with you some recommendation on how you can remain focused, how you can remain solid in your ability, in your alignment to keep that higher frequency. How do you keep that balance when you are observing all these dramatic and drastic changes going on around you and around the globe? So that is the purpose of this conversation. And in fact, today I'm going to share a little bit more with you, some helpful hints. But I think the biggest problem is that we are trying to make sense of our role, our position. I mean, what are we supposed to do if all the old stuff is collapsing around us, is supposed to collapse? So how do we focus on what we're supposed to do? Is what we're supposed to do even relevant? We start to question what we are supposed to be doing. And that's why it's very difficult. For example, some of you are saying, well, if there's going to be, all of these, for example, those who believe that 2012 and December 21st, 2012, there will be all these geophysical events and all that stuff. So somebody who's, for example, who has a great plan to create some things in a particular area. So are you now saying, well, if this is all going to happen, then why should I do my project? Or if you're someone who is writing a book, for example, or somebody who is doing this work, trying to help others with healing or just going through the changes, are you now saying, well, if this is all going to collapse, and do I just have to wait and sit around and wait for the new energy, for the new paradigm to actually be here to do my work? So it's very, very confusing. Also, some of you are saying, well, if this area is going to be inundated or something like that, then does it make sense for me to do my project or my work here? And so what's happening is that you go off balance, because you are focused on the events outside yourself. It's very difficult for you to discern the reality that's outside of you, that is happening around you, and remain the observer, not engage in it, and now not allow that reality to drag you into its consciousness. This is really the biggest problem. So when we are watching all these events, when we are experiencing the energy of all of these events, then we are dragged into the drama of these events, and we lose our balance. We lose our focus, and it is very difficult to find a sense of inner peace and alignment. And that is precisely the problem. So